Welcome to episode number 56. That's 5-6.
Can't get away from the 6.
The EAVESDROP podcast. Can't get away from the 6. The E6 man himself, Jordon General, in the building. Thank you for stopping by, partner. I appreciate it. I've noticed that every single time, ever since I've moved to Texas, I say partner a lot. And it's not something like I've said partner in the past, like in Chicago, but it wasn't until I got here that I said, hey, partner. Yeah. And I don't know if it's like one of those things where we used to have this neighbor back in Chicago, this black dude. And he, every single time he spoke to my parents or anyone, he would be like, hey, Hector, what's up? How's it going? Hey. He would make like this accent. He didn't mean anything by it. It was just something that came to him. So I wonder if that's the same thing that happened to me when I moved to Texas, where I'm like, howdy, y'all.
Howdy, partner.
Yeah, hey, partner. So I say that a lot. And I caught myself, when was it? I think like 2 weeks ago, saying partner a lot. And then right now when you walked in, I'm like, what's up, bro? He's like, what's up, partner? I was like, fuck. He's making fun of me.
What's up, brother?
Anyway, well, welcome to the show.
Great to be here.
Thank you for stopping by. You live right down the street from here. We won't give your address out, but you're right down the street. You don't stream from here for some reason. I'm offended.
What do you mean? I have to sit there and watch the team. Put in my input.
Yeah, that's true. But you're here also. I mean, you can see over.
I'm down to stream from here.
Yeah,
if you want me to.
I don't know. I think it'd be good. Anyway, let's begin. And I didn't do it last episode, but I'll do it this episode. Who are you today?
If I was to say, who am I today? I'm Jordon General, born and raised in Michigan. And as of right now, I am a starter, but I'm a six-man on the bench.
You're a starter on a bench.
Yes.
A starter caliber player on the bench.
Yes.
It had to have been difficult, right, for you to do that. Right, I told your dad, and I think I told your mom too. I'm like, I respect that a lot. You know what I mean? Because not a lot of people. I mean, I don't want to name any names. Right? But a lot of people are like, "Fuck that. That's not me."
Yeah.
I'd rather not play, and I'd rather be in the open brackets than do this. So we're born and raised in Michigan.
Yes,
Detroit,
born and raised in Ann Arbor.
Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Yeah,
right.
Ann Arbor, Michigan, and then from there, would move around a little bit, and so, I mean, we're gonna get into like my early life.
Yeah,
we're talking about like school and stuff. I was watching one of your other ones, and you're like, because you're talking about Temper saying like he was like the gaming was like positive when he was in school. When you're talking about like fame and all that stuff, but you know, there were some haters when for me when I was coming up, and coming up
in school.
Oh yeah.
What grade?
Around middle school and then coming towards high school.
Yeah.
So whenever you're talking about that, coming up as, having like a check mark, all that stuff, and being 15, 16 years old.
Yeah.
There's
check mark, you're talking about Twitter verification?
Yes.
Okay.
And then like funny story.
Please.
I would be in school, and I would have because I was like freshmen when I was like a junior or a senior, because the classes were interchangeable with like all grades.
All grades, like in biology.
And that's
like I was a dumbass senior. I was a dumbass senior in biology.
Yes.
Sitting there with like super genius freshmen who like knew their acids and compounds and ammo compound. I don't know. Get the mic closer to you, because no, I mean the mic. Not you can. I mean you can do whatever you want, but just get the mic closer if you want. Anyway, so all right, tell me, you're an interchangeable class.
Yeah, so basically interchangeable class. This happened a couple of times. So I would have freshmen. They would say in front of the whole class and to my teacher saying, "He uploaded a new YouTube video. Did you see it?" I'm like, dude, stop.
Why? That's viewership.
I know, but it was like at the time, it wasn't like I was trying to hide it or anything. I was just so focused on myself, like trying to just play and balancing school and trying to become a professional gamer. And that was actually during the time where Black Ops 3 was out. I wasn't able to play because of age restrictions.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. It wasn't so much like I said haters, but it was just it was at the time where it wasn't really accepted.
Yeah.
It was just coming up because, gaming didn't really blow up to like really, really recently.
Yeah.
So when I was coming up, it was in that stage where it was kind of accepted.
Yeah.
And people were starting to warm up to it. So it wasn't that like awkward phase in my school because it was like more sports and more social parties and gatherings. But yeah, I mean, that was it for a lot of my just to talk about that, like how gaming affected like me in school and how people perceived me.
Yeah.
So
it had to have been different, right? Because I mean, if I go back to the 90s,
yeah,
I think I went into senior year. I was 17, so 1997, 96, 95, 94. Because I couldn't do the fucking math, right? I went to Wheeling High School.
Yeah.
No offense. For me, and this is maybe it's weird or whatever, but like all of my friends always played video games.
Yeah.
Right. But we also were like the popular kids that got all the girls. You know, that was a specialty. The Wolves, MVP, most valuable pimps.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. That was a high school thing. Anyway, but we always played video games. I remember going to my friend's house, my friend Eric's house, and we played Resident Evil, the first one, and it was the most engaging game that I've ever played. And I wasn't necessarily a video game player per se, but once I started getting into those video games, I then
ventured off to different ones.
Yeah, ventured as well. And then I started playing Zelda: The Ocarina of Time, which became my favorite game of all time.
Yeah.
And then from there, I went to my boy Mario's house. Mario, who works here, and he had SOCOM. And that was the first multiplayer experience that I ever had. And he's like, "Oh no, here, press this button, and you can hide in that rock, and you can kill people."
On the
and
PlayStation?
I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck? What? You cheat, bro? And then he's like, no, it's fun. It's like you're making like fun of them because they take it super serious and this and that. I'm like, let me see you play. So he would go hide in fucking rocks and like have the wall hacks and shit. And I'm like, yeah, that's not actually no fun in that. And obviously he was like, him and his brother had like all the video games because they came from a family that owned a bunch of restaurants and I would always ask him to let me borrow video games. And I'd be like, nah, hell no, because I know what you're gonna do. You're never gonna give it back. And I'm like, what the fuck? All right. Anyway, so for us in the 90s, there, it wasn't accepted, but because it was us, it was sort of like a non-issue because we're basketball players, football players, baseball players, and video game players. So for us, it wasn't that. Now, you as a what did you say, junior? As a junior, when you became,
I didn't because Advanced Warfare was the time of I think sophomore year, and then in my junior year was Black Ops 3. So that was when that was the age range, so I wasn't able to play. Yeah. So
now, obviously, when you're sort of going through these things, and correct me if I'm wrong, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. But you were also being picked on for different reasons, right? Because you came from a wealthy family.
Yes.
Which is like, which is why I'm gonna tell you what's fucked up about this. Okay. Now, I came from the opposite spectrum where we were made fun of because we were poor, right? In Mexico. And then you get you can't keep anybody fucking happy nowadays.
No.
It's like you're too rich, make fun of them. You're too poor, make fun of them. If you're not in between in a normal fucking environment, you're like the target in a sense.
Yes.
So this couldn't have helped. Not only are you like this. Did you play any sports at all?
I tried, but it just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so just to rewind everything to get back to where we are.
Somebody has to. My brain just fucking goes on an adventure on its own. Walkabout.
So if we're gonna talk about just like school and all that stuff, around middle school, of course, like you said, wealthy family. In my school, it was people had nice things and stuff, but for me, like coming up, I wasn't like it wasn't like born royalty or whatever.
Yeah.
Like my dad, like that's one thing I respect. Like we didn't like my family wasn't really wealthy until I was in middle school or coming into high school.
Yeah.
So I grew up in literally a house like my parents like want to say like
a normal house.
It resembled like a chicken coop. Like it was just small house, and my dad had to work very hard. And whenever I was in like because I moved schools from I want to say elementary school to middle school. That's where I said in the beginning like I moved around. So we moved around, and coming into my new school, and that was before like my family and my dad like really got successful.
Yeah.
And now everyone looks at me as this rich kid.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there like, dude, like I'm
how
just,
do they
I'm just
know?
trying to be friends.
Did you roll up in a Rolls? Like what? Did you roll up with that dope ass chain you got on? Like what?
Dude, I have so many stories when it comes down to school.
If I walk into a mall today wearing what I'm wearing, there's zero chance that somebody's like, that dude's got paper, right?
Yeah.
But if I walk in like with a suit and
a tie,
you know what I mean. So what identified you as that?
Well, I would.
How do they know that you came from money?
I mean, I always for me in school, like I always like tried to hide it, but you know, when I were friends over, of course, gossip and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, like when it came down to middle school, you know, I was picked on a lot. I had a couple of like instances where I would get 3v1'd and I had to, you know, defend myself. And very, very dark times. So I'd like to say that.
How old were you at the time?
So I was in middle school. It was like I had to be like 12, 13. So definitely getting picked on, bullying or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And then once I went into high school, it wasn't really bullying. It was just more like isolated, alienated. Yeah. So I wouldn't like I had like a couple, like I had like three friends in high school. But besides that, like I would just people would just leave me alone. Yeah. And I just had my own time, and you know. Oh my God, I gotta tell you guys a story. So
please,
just like my personality, like for me in school, I tried to be the blender. Like I tried to blend in. Like I didn't really want to be like noticed. Like I just wanted to just do my own thing, focus on gaming, and gaming be my escape. But there would just be situations where I just couldn't blend. For example, like my dad, you know, he's a happy guy during the time of high school, and I have gym class last, and how my school is structured is there's a big, huge, long hallway, and the gym is right here, and all the classes are on the other side, like science and all that stuff, and then like the entrance is here. So it's like World War Z this one day. World War Z, like people are running around. They're like, "Oh my God!" I think there's like something bad happening, and
you're walking, and there's like commotion. Just people are running.
People are running.
There might be a fire somewhere.
It's like because my school had like 3,000, 4,000 people.
Your dad pulled up, and all right, you go.
And I'm like, dude, what's going on here? I open up the doors, and then there's like, I want to say 600 kids all outside, like swarming like World War Z. And my dad's literally in the front in the white Lamborghini Aventador. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, what are you doing? Yeah.
And embarrassing.
And then I'm
how
just,
dare you,
dude?
Dad?
And I'm just like, come on, man. Like I walk out, and like I'm just like,
yeah.
And then I walk towards the car. Everyone's just like, whoa. And
see,
then,
for me, now look.
I mean, you would think, but like for me, I tried like,
but
if I was always alienated and always like looked at differently, like, oh, just use him for his stuff and all that stuff. And, you know, I come like from a different mindset and viewpoint on that. And even now in gaming, you know, people would just look at me differently because I had money, and you know, of course, like I'm desensitized by like, that now, but
as if you chose it, right? As if you said, I want to be born into a rich family, right?
That was not true. Of course. And everyone thinks that like, oh yeah, I was royalty, and he thinks that like he walks around like he has a cape on. Like, no, dude, like it's just how it is. I'm proud of my father for working his ass off
to accomplish
what he did, and working so hard and providing for his family because he loved us so much. Yeah. So, and then that was, I could go in detail with other stuff, but that's basically how it went.
So you get it. Why don't you signal and say, Dad, get the fucking pick me up, send him a text.
Dude, no, I was so selfish, so self-conscious about it. I was like, dude, I gotta take the bus home. Like, this is getting bad. Yeah. And
that's so like, awesome. What I was gonna say in that case though is like, you know, when we were this dude, part of my group, the dude Eric, where I was playing a PlayStation. Resident Evil with, like, his dad owned a business, and they were like, you know, very well off, and they always like used to buy us like pool passes, season pool passes for the rec center, and I was like, man, that's so dope. I mean, granted, this guy was like Mr. Popularity, won what do you call the king, the prom king? He won prom king, like good looking fella, right? He played ball, like super talented dude. Anyway, like we saw that and we're like, all right, we're already friends, but the fact that they gave us a little extra like helped, right? Like we're like, and that's what I would have been like if you're my boy and you're like, yo, come, let's go to my house and play fucking pool or something, and I get to your house and it looks like a fucking school, I'm gonna be like, yeah, this is my boy for life. You know what I'm saying? Maybe his dad will employ me at one point, and then at that point it feels like, yeah, I'm getting stuff from you, but at the end of the day, it's not even like that because you didn't choose it. At the end of the day, it's not even something that you had. It's like I'm gonna get really rude here, okay? Never mind, I won't. I won't. So anyway, all right. So not only were you being picked on in school because they noticed that you came from that, and they got jealous. That's like that's if you picked it. And
plus, I was in video games too. So.
And then you were on top of that on video games. You didn't play any sports, and Michigan is obviously, or that area, the North Midwest is super sports. So what were the like steps? Because obviously there's thousands of kids out there right now that even though video games are accepted and video games are cool, there are those schools, because I encounter it all the time, right? When I talk to grown people in business that like, yeah, my son won't get out of blah 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 and play video games, and then I tell him this, like, well, esports, massive business, blah blah. And he's like, oh, maybe I should play, blah, blah. And I'm like, it's not about the money and it's not about that. If your son was an artist and an incredible, portrait. Drawer. Would you tell them to go play sports? No, you would encourage that. You would help them become a little bit better. So how did you cope with that? Obviously going through that, because it couldn't have been easy.
Are you talking about just playing video games casually, or are you starting to actually take it seriously?
Both. Yeah, I mean casually and that, because this is the thing that pissed me off. All right, and this is the thing that has always pissed me off about your situation in esports. Right, one. Rich or not, when you get on main stage, dad's money's not going to help you.
They don't buy my skill.
No, like it's just you and your skill. And you can't buy that. Otherwise, I'd be a fucking professional Call of Duty player myself.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So that's what always got me mad. Like, oh, he grew up differently. I'm like, what? Scump grew up way differently, right? He was his dad was a baseball player, so he didn't grow up poor, and is just his natural gift to be that. Some people who came from nothing, who have become something, like, it has nothing. Once the lights are on, you sit down on main stage, nothing matters but you, your skill, and your ability to compete. So anyway, go on, as you were saying, with the coping of it.
So I would say during that time, when I rewind to middle school, that was when everyone was like still like in their like gamer years, I would say. Yeah. Towards high school, no one really played. I was the only one that would like play like competitively or just like really try to make it. But in middle school, like I was always like that guy, like going really try hard. Like I was like easily like I would just smoke everyone in my school and like Call of Duty free for alls, Call of Duty. Anything or Halo or anything like that, which is funny because when I was watching one, you're like, I also started like being a sniper too, and I was that kid that I would have in my bio like 83-0, like it's just But no, that's how it was. So I would just be playing Halo and Call of Duty throughout middle school, and just playing just casually, and then once high school hit, I took the leap of faith as I told my mom and dad, like, I'm going to go to this local in Michigan and I'm going to see what happens, and I'm going to be a pro. Like, I literally told them that. And they're like, okay. I mean, you're making, like, do they make money? Like, I'm like, I don't know, like, you make a career off this? And I'm like, yeah. And at the time, that's when I was like, Call of Duty Ghost Time, the first half of it. And I was like watching like Scump.
And how old were you at the time?
Had to be like 14 or 15, something like that. So yeah.
So you're watching Scump and then play Ghost?
Watching Scump and Crim 6 play Ghost. And before that, I was watching a lot of Halo tournaments because I started like, I don't even know what I started on. It was either I was like sniping for a little bit, playing Halo Reach, Halo 3. I loved Halo 3. I loved Modern Warfare 2. And that was during the time of middle school. So I was like flopping back and forth with my school friends. And from there, I I just decided just to take Call of Duty Ghosts, like just play that only and play pubs. And then I would literally meet someone in Clan v Clan from Michigan and then play with them. And then from there, I would find new players and then win locals. And then literally, like in a span of 1 month of winning like 250 series with my like original E6 team.
Which was who?
Myself, M. Ruiz, Exib, and Cade. We would win like 14 of them back to back to back, and everyone called us onliners. And there was an article saying, "Can we beat Optic Gaming?" And everyone laughed at it. And then first event, my first ever pro event,
which was where? California.
UMG, right? California. We got top 3, and we almost beat them.
You came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I remember clearly sitting backstage with Fat Jack, because he commentated that. I was sitting backstage with Fat Jack, and we were talking about you guys, and he's like, "Dude, these guys came out of nowhere, and they're like making waves." And I look over, and then you're being interviewed. I'm like, "Oh shit!" I'm like, "That's one of the dudes," and I'm like, "Oh, that's crazy." And then you got up. I'm like, "Oh man, good job." And that's it. You're like, "Yeah, thanks," and just fucking walked away. And you just, business as usual, right? You had not like you were just there to play. You weren't there to. You were there to compete.
Passion and just being a pure competitor. That's all it ever was for me. Yeah.
So E6, tell me. Obviously, you guys met online playing Clan v Clan.
Yeah.
Leading up to that, though, right? Leading up to UMG California, Anaheim, I think it was UMG California or whatever. You guys had already been like on the road, right? You guys have already been winning. They called you onliners. You show up. You almost beat us.
Yeah.
And it actually shows that you guys weren't on. And that's the thing. Everybody that says people are onliners, it's just
As long as you have like half the composure you have online, like you should be able to perform
the same.
Yeah.
So all right. So E6, you guys perform super well. What sort of what sort of support system like had to be implemented for you to be able to pursue this? Because your parents saw, the crowd. Your parents saw like the opportunity. Your parents saw that you were being interviewed. Your parents saw that you guys almost beat the most popular team. Not just in Call of Duty. Well, definitely Call of Duty, but also esports. So they had to have been like, oh, cool. This is something's there. One thing that's never changed from what your dad says, and I've spoken to your dad over the years a whole bunch of times. He says, "I'm just here for Jordan. If he steps away, I'm gone too," and blah blah blah. The amount of support that you guys, not only that your parents, right, gave not just you but everybody else around you, right? Because they didn't have to fly your crew of flunkies on the private jet. They didn't even have to. They could have just flown you and put you in coach along with your friends and then send them off. They didn't have to pay for their tickets either, right?
No.
Like what sort of
how E6 started was literally because we tried to help the community. Same thing with the E6 Army. It was literally like with all good intentions. And so first it's E6 started because like we heard like, org owners and all this stuff like couldn't afford stuff. And we in Michigan in the scene at the time, a lot of people were not fortunate and they didn't have like all the necessary tools to actually like compete and stuff. And my parents at the time, they knew that I was alienated and I was trying to go full forward with it because I already said I wanted to be a professional Call of Duty player. And they're like, why not we just support our kid? Like who cares about what we're doing as parents? Why not we just help him?
Yeah.
And make something for his people and help his community because we're stepping into his world.
Yeah.
So from there, my parents literally would treat the entire team as literally as if they were me, like their own kids, and try to give them like the best opportunities possible. And that's what literally E6 was literally made for, was to give opportunities to a lot of people that would never get any.
Yeah. And that's facts.
Yeah.
That every single time that I saw some like drama going on between, your parents and some random fucking Call of Duty kid, I always got like does this kid or whoever the fuck this is not realize that like they don't have to give you shit? Like that you can literally be out in the wild and try to get a sponsorship against people who have a following, against people who are way better than you. So to me that was always like one of these weird enigmas, no pun intended. All right, so continue on with this with the E6 story.
So from first starting, literally like my team broke up because of the stupidest reason. Like literally the story was my dad literally told my team like, you guys got to practice, you guys are not playing. It was right after so we went to UMG Cali, got top 3, and then we won a local
first event.
Yeah,
top 3
first event. And like I was confident before that. I was like, oh yeah, like I'm probably gonna win it. Like you have to have that confidence if you're gonna
of course
play. So we won a $20,000 local, and then Michigan, and then from there we would break up. And it was because, first of all, they didn't like that I was getting a lot of the attention of being like the superstar, and it was never about that for me. I'm just trying to win. Yeah. Whoever's going to shine is going to shine. Yeah. And then my dad literally said, it was all the screenshots, and there's proof and videos of it. Like, then they know my teammates were really screwed up because they listened to outside influences, and that's how a lot of teams crumble, is listening to outside influences, trying to break up the team. And they didn't like I was getting a lot of credit, and they did not like, and their thing was I was like they were allowing me to do what I did, which I do agree. Like that's a part of the team. Like everyone's gonna have their own dirty work they have to do, and whoever shines shines. So my dad, long story short, told like we have to start practicing, and they didn't like that he was telling them. And we broke up, and I was sleeping. I didn't do anything. I literally was sleeping when it happened. And I woke up and my team was gone. And I'm like, well, we have appeal. We have it was like season relegation in 2 weeks. And I'm like, you know what? Like, I guess I just got to play with anybody. And I went to my circle, and I played with Proto and Holler, and we didn't do well. And throughout the entire second half of Advanced Warfare, it was like top 12s and top 16s because I couldn't remake a team that was as much as like synergy and teamwork. Chemistry, and like the reason why we meshed together is because we would literally just play like rats. Like we were legit rat players,
like all over the place.
Like we were all over the place. We would make the game very chaotic. We would be very selfless, like let people pass, like who cared about statistics. Like we got all top 3, and I was ISKD with like a .96. Like all of us went negative, but like all of us were getting impactful like kills, making impactful plays around the map. And we were playing the game like in the most efficient way. And, you know, then going with a lot of players that didn't really understand, because like I think very, very differently as I try to be really, really efficient. Yeah. And coming in at such a young age, as 15, 16 years old, trying to rebuild that, like it was, I just couldn't. Like I would try so hard, and the second half of that game with players that I would try to get them to the same like learning speed and like game plans and all that stuff. You know how it is. Yeah. And it just didn't work out. And so then Black Ops 3 happened, the age range, and I'm just sitting out for a year and watching. And how I look at it is like going from, like, we'll probably get to it, but like every single year, it's like in COD college, like I learned something every single year. And even when I wasn't playing Black Ops 3, I learned even how to like be a better teammate. And because I was just watching a lot, and as I couldn't compete, and I was just working on myself, because all I think I could play was wagers, literally, because I wasn't 18. So, and then from there, I would play a couple online tournaments, and just win those, and then play locals, but nothing too much in Black Ops 3 as I couldn't compete. Yeah. So,
what sort of I heard, and I don't, obviously I don't know, because I wasn't, like, we knew each other, but we were never close. Same with your dad, like we knew each other, and we tried to do something at one point together, but it didn't work out. What like you guys set up a LAN center for that, for your team, where and then you guys would host your teammates there for them to get better at the game, right? All sitting together, all working towards essentially providing a training facility for you guys.
I was in the basement.
Yeah. Yeah. It's top of the line everything, obviously. What do you think was the Like, what did it? Because it couldn't have been just like outside influencers or outside influences. The thing is this: when outside influences see what good is happening to other people, they try to snake their way in there and put certain thoughts in certain players to get them out of the way so they can replace themselves with them, right? But even then, when something like that happens, like it's so disingenuous that hardly ever does that something is that something that that works out a certain way.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked out for Scumpy when he replaced Proofy on that, which is super funny. Thank God. I love Proofy, right?
Yeah.
Obviously. Okay, so you guys find early success. You start to falter a little bit because of age restrictions and teammates being swindled by other people. When do you see the E6 resurrection? Because you guys continue to be a team. Your parents continue to dump money into this thing to help other people, live their life. Only to be sort of spat on for no fucking reason.
Disrespected.
Yeah. Before you go into that, let me give a quick shout out to the sponsors this week. DoorDash coming back for like the 5th week, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate it, especially because I use DoorDash all the gosh darn time. I cannot tell you how many times I sit in my stream room with Hutch and Diesel shouting suggestions as to what to order. Because DoorDash has something for every single lifestyle. On the go with no time to waste, order, pick up, and pass the line. Having trouble organizing meals with your friends? We make it easy with group ordering. DoorDash is more than just delivery. It literally makes life easier. I don't have to get up. I don't have to tell Jude, order me some food, make me some food, help me make some food. None of that. We literally just do that because DoorDash brings all of America's flavors to your door. Ordering is super easy. As I just said, I do it in between matches while I'm playing game battles. You open your DoorDash application, choose what you want to eat, and your food will be delivered to you wherever you are. You could be here in the heczquarters. You could be there where you're at right now. You can be at your office. You can be in your car, and they'll probably bring it to you. Right? They won't be wearing skates in like the good old days. But with door-to-door delivery in all 50 U.S. states, Puerto Rico, Canada, and Australia, you can order and London. I used DoorDash in London to order this pasta bolognese from this one spot. With door-to-door delivery, as I just said, Chick-fil-A, all of them, Chick-fil-A, Cheesecake Factory, all of them. Not sure if your favorite pizza is already on DoorDash. You can look it up, but just know 310,000 restaurant partners in 4,000 cities, so you might find a few favorites too. Give it a shot. Sometimes I play roulette. I just start scrolling, I pick one, and I order something from there just to expand my my go-tos when it comes to food. Right now, our listeners can get $5 off their first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash application and enter code EAVESDROP. Now, I don't know what type of human you are, but there's zero chance that if you're like me, you order anything less than $20, right? But here they give you a break and say $15 or more. When you download it, you get $5 off when you enter the code EAVESDROP. That's $5 off your first order when you enter and download the DoorDash application in the App Store and enter code EAVESDROP. Don't forget, that's code EAVESDROP for $5 off your first order with DoorDash. One more time for the people in the mat, Maddie. And the people in the back, Maddie, get $5 off your first order, $15 or more, when you download the application. General, back to where we were. You guys had a hot start, middle falter because of your age restriction, and obviously, but you guys come back still.
Yes.
You know, you and your parents and you don't lose any sort of. You guys aren't faded by the bullshit that's happened to you guys already. And you guys are like, well, we still, Jordan's still about this, so we're going to continue to support this as much as we can. Yeah. So you go on. Like, what is, did it take a lot of convincing for you to tell your parents, like, Dad, Mom, like, I know you guys are getting shit online because of bullshit, but please, let's keep going.
Yeah, I mean, just not even talk about me, for them, they were, I mean, now like, They have their defensive barriers around them at all times because of the stuff that they went through. Mm-hmm. But at that time, like they were with me, and of course I wanted what's best for me. But for them, they weren't used to it because like the online community is different from real life.
Obviously,
it's completely different. Like people can say whatever they want, and they don't have to look at you face to face, and they weren't used to that. Like my dad is a businessman, entrepreneur, and he deals with people face to face, and he'll make deals happen, but he can't use his talents, and he can't be like
he can't disarm people just through pure conversation.
What do you want me to do? And then same thing with my mom. Like she grew up in like a completely different like way, and was like she just didn't understand it. Like, why is there so much hate? Why is there so much jealousy? Why is there so much like so much bad vibes and negativity when there just shouldn't be? When we're trying to do so much and be like, the E6 Army was meant for the community. Like literally, even at the first event, like my dad saw people were hungry, and he literally bought like 30 people pizzas.
Yeah.
Like he was literally like with the best intentions, and sometimes like the pathway to hell is paved with good intentions. That's what it is. Like it was just unfortunate that like we literally it's like Ultron. I don't know if you ever see Age of Ultron. Like it was meant to be beautiful. It was meant to be
Ultron,
like from Age of Ultron, Avengers.
Oh yeah.
It was like I was monologues like, you wounded me, I give you that, but I was meant to be beautiful. I was meant to be this and that, but you look up to the sky and see horror because of you or something like that. Like that's you know what I mean?
I do.
Like it was supposed to be something really, really good, and honestly, at the end for champs, it was.
Yeah.
But that's just my whole other tangent. But yeah, it was definitely with the best intentions possible, and they were with me, and you know, they saw that in Black Ops 3 that like the age restrictions, of course, like couldn't happen because of 18.
Yeah.
But yeah, like coming into Infinite Warfare, in Vegas, the grind with the pro points, it was like 30 pro points a day. I don't know if you remember that.
I do.
But I was telling my team to wake up at like 12 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning, and then play all night and get like 6 hours of sleep because we're trying to qualify for pool play.
Yeah.
And we ended up didn't because we would lose an online qualifier. But besides that, in Infinite Warfare now, we would play in Vegas, and we would be in open bracket, the gladiator pit.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, we would get into pool play, and then we would play you guys. I think we would go 9-0 map count in pool play. And I think we were like the first ever team to like make you not qualify in winners bracket at all, because we were the first team that ever sent you guys to a losers bracket ever. And from there we would like, because we were playing forever and coming from the open bracket, like we literally had no breaks, and so we would lose to a team that we should have beat, and who knows what could have happened. But yeah, like we ended up getting top 8 that event.
What's your highest placement?
Highest placement is top 3.
At a champs?
No, top 4. I got a champs.
At champs, top 4.
Yes,
that's insane. And then top 3 is
UMG Cali.
Yeah. So you haven't won a championship yet?
No,
not yet, but you will, 100%.
Oh yeah.
You know, I'm super intrigued at the patience that your parents had going through this shit, because I know how I am, and I know that if I was doing the same thing for Liv, there's zero chance that any of those little pussy ass little kids out there that are making comments online wouldn't have gotten found, especially if I got money. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna fucking hire PIs and shit.
They definitely were very strong, and they're completely different people now. As like the experience has changed them, and I'm completely different now as the experience changed me. So
one of the things that I remember at UMG Cali when I first met your parents was that your mom didn't shake hands.
Oh no,
she
still doesn't.
She was like me, because I went like this and she went like that, and I'm like, oh, I don't shake hands either. She's like, you know, like I'm like, ew, fuck that, me either, right? Because we are big germaphobes here. You just recently came to Minneapolis with us, and was Minneapolis the first time that the coronavirus was being?
I think so, because
it had to have been, right? Because I was very sick. I'll tell you what. If I was as sick as I was in Minneapolis today, I would 1,000% think that I have the coronavirus, because I was like just dead.
Yeah,
I was dead. We were supposed to do a podcast with Gary V. Our schedules didn't line up. Were lined up until the day that they weren't lined up, because I became sick and he had to push. And I was like, there's no chance I meet this dude. There's not meet him, but there's no chance I meet these guys to do this. Because there was no chance that I was going to be patient zero, right? I take a bunch of pictures at events. I'm always bumping, fists with somebody. There's every so often there's the guy that just does this. Every so often there's the guy that gets mad at me for not shaking his hand. I mean, no offense at all, but I'm not shaking no one's hand. You know what I mean? Unless I choose to, obviously, to, cut a deal with you. But in Atlanta, and if you're watching this dude in Atlanta who I don't know, never met, Maddie and I were walking behind. He's like, Hecz, man, nice to meet you. I'm like, nice to meet you, man. He's like, no, shake my hand. And I'm like, no, it's just fist bump, dude. He's like, what? You're not gonna shake my hand? I'm like, nah. And I just walked away. I felt bad as I was like walking away, and I look at him. I'm like, was that bad? It's like, it wasn't. I just fucking. If he knows me, he knows that I don't shake hands, right? Mm-hmm. Every so often, I will shake someone's hand, but only when I know that I have sanitizer my thing. You are very like me, I think, when it comes to taking precautions. I'm probably not as good as you are at taking precautions because you came super prepared. You had a box of latex gloves. You had 2 boxes of face masks.
Respirators.
Sorry, I'm going to apologize. You had respirators. You had sanitizer, and you had a whole bunch of pills, right? Like it was like nighttime, daytime. And you were like, yo, wear this. And we're like, nah, it's not that serious. But now
I'm like the guy that's like sitting there, like I'm like here with my glass of orange juice, and I'm like that dog from that Burning, like this is fine, but like come on guys, like don't blue pill, like I'm telling you this is gonna get bad. And now we're here.
Now we're here. Just to give you a small taste of this. It was, I don't know, like 2:30 a.m. one day, and we get a video from Jordon that it's like, yo, this is what's happening in China right now. And I'm like, I don't know why I was awake, but I look at it and I'm like, oh my God, this is fucking terrifying. And sure enough, that weekend we had to travel to London.
Yes.
And anytime you have to leave the States, you sort of feel exposed to something that you don't want to be, because the safety that the United States provides, as expensive as it is and as stupid as some things may be,
proud American. Yeah,
same. It's still where you want to be if you're ever sick. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like I'm confident. I was doing a lot of research on the coronavirus just recently, right? And I heard that kids, believe it or not, are less susceptible to contract the coronavirus than 30 to 79-year-olds, which I was like, that's fucking cool, right? And the reason is because kids ordinarily walk around with some sort of flu, several different coronaviruses within
coronaviruses.
Yeah, I mean, they're all coronaviruses, right? COVID-19, because there's a coronavirus of 2019, or whatever. Look, I've done my research on this. I'm practically a goddamn doctor, scientist of medicine, and disease controls shit. Anyway, so you were warning us like the whole time, and we're like, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Guys, now it's gonna be bad.
Yeah. now like the 3,000th patient died yesterday or something.
It's probably worse than that. They're not reporting it. Who knows?
Yeah. Who knows what it is? Which is the scary part, right? The scary part is that that people are still showing up to work even when they're sick, out of fear of losing their jobs, which sucks. But at the same time, if you lose your job, you don't have insurance. If you don't have insurance, you can't pay for your medical bills. You die, right? Twitter is the first company that it was just announced that Twitter is the first company that has told their employees to work from home in a precautionary measure to lessen the spread of the virus. Now, the only reason I'm bringing up the virus is because I wanted to sort of put a timestamp on this podcast, so when scholars in the future who are studying esports and the people who made it goddamn happen, they could be like, oh shit, the coronavirus that killed half the population on Earth. What's going on during this fucking podcast? It's fucking wild.
Yep.
All right, now let's get into some juicy stuff because we're nearing the end of the podcast.
Okay.
2 things, right? We already talked about your parent support. Yep. I want to talk about your name change because Jordon General, it's it's like when I say I'm Hecz Rodriguez, right? Like I thought it was just one thing. The difference between you and me is that you actually changed your last name to General.
Yes.
Correct. Right? Your mom did as well.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Your dad was the only one that didn't.
No.
What's with the name change?
Okay, so as I said before, as I didn't grow up in the, I mean, of course I had everything I had because my mom would provide and she would work very hard. But basically, my biological father even though my dad is not my real dad, like as of right now that raised me, is not my biological father. He's my real dad.
Yeah.
And so, but my mom at the time, she was working really hard as a single mom, and so basically what happened was, basically the reason why I changed my name was my biological father kind of scumbagged me.
Mm-hmm.
And what he did was, so 2014, the year before I started to play, my brother, his name is Joey, he was killed. I'm not going to go into the details, but he passed away, and I wasn't able to go to his funeral, and that really enraged me. And since he wasn't a part of my life, my biological father, that was the last straw for me.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to carry your last name anymore.
Yeah.
Like it's over. And so with that being said, I changed my last name, and I went through it, and just as my
older brother.
Yes, he was older.
How much older?
I think he died when he was 21.
And you were like 14, 15?
15 or 16, yeah. So from there, I would change my name, and that's just how it went. And people would think like, oh yeah, he changed his name because he's a general sort of will, you know what I mean? Like, no, that's not what it was. And I never really thought I had to explain it or thought that people would care that much that I changed my name. But the reason why I did it is because it was literally because of my biological father, and I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to do anything with him at all. Yeah. So, and now like my real father, one that raised me since I was 2 years old. Yeah. We've been a happy family, and that's how it should be.
Family ain't always blood, man. That's a fact. My dad's dad also left my grandma and 3 kids, and my grandfather, my real grandfather, not my dad's biological dad, was my grandfather, Pedro Rodriguez. If my dad's dad would have stuck around, my name would have been last name would have been Vega. But my dad sort of had the same sort of scenario there, where I think all of his brothers went to his father's funeral except for him. You know what I mean? Like he says, like, no, you abandoned us. There's zero chance. And I would have been the same way as my dad. Like if you're that type of person that doesn't want anything to do with me, I'm never, no matter what changes, no matter death, no matter if you're sick, no matter like, there's no room for you in my life. So, I give you props for that too, man. I mean, being able to say, you know what, I want zero to do with you, period. No more connection. This is my dad. And obviously it is, right? Like he's the one that raised you. He's the one that took care of you. So yeah, that's super cool. I didn't know that. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. So I'm having this conversation with you. I didn't know that Chris wasn't your biological dad. Obviously, he's your real dad.
Yeah, he's my real dad.
And I didn't know you had a brother either, man. You're mysterious.
Many people don't know. Yeah. So now you know.
Now you know. That's crazy, dude. So it just goes to show that the layers of someone's true being isn't as easy as most people would think.
You can't judge a book by its cover.
Amen to that, man. Jesus
really
Christ. And I'm gonna be honest, man. I didn't know how you were gonna, growing up the way that you grew up. Yeah. Right. And I know this because I see it. Growing up the way that you grew up, right, with everything that you could have ever wanted, because you have good parents that will do anything for you. The same way that no matter status in any chart of finance,
good support system,
right, like that support system. Like I didn't know how you were gonna be, how you were gonna react to sitting on the bench. And this is a conversation that I had with your dad, because I called your dad before I called you. When we were going down the route of picking our team, and they told us you need to have a 6th player, not just a coach. Or you can have a coach, but he could be your 6th player.
Man,
I'm like, no, we're gonna take the safety precautions. We're gonna do the right thing, and we're gonna get a 6th man, right? A
star caliber player in case anything goes wrong.
Right. Look, we have personalities on our team, right? Yeah. But I wanted to make sure that the person that was next up to bat was gonna be able to hold his own. So as we were looking through the field, we talked to certain, people who just, it was just us. They were waiting to see where they were going to go or were going to end up. So we're like, we got to move quick. We got to, we're the last to this thing. And as we were going to, I'm like, I thought of you, and I'm like, man, this guy's nasty. Like, obviously, like everybody knows that. So I'm like, I'm gonna call his dad first to see where he's at. There, I didn't want to call you and sort of get you out of your decision making. Whether you're gonna go start somewhere else or you were gonna stay there, because I know that the allure that this brings to whatever. So I called your dad, and I'm like, what's Jordan's plan? Do you think that he would be okay to be on the bench? And your dad's like, you'd be surprised, man. Like he would. And your dad's gonna say what he's gonna say. You're his son, right? He's gonna whatever. But I still have my doubts on how you were gonna transition from being like the guy to being on the bench, knowing that you could, be out there, right? So, like, how has that been personally, and where do you find the sort of strength to be like, this is a moment in my life that I have to go through?
Okay, so just a little rewind. We talked about Infinite Warfare. I become known as a star player, or whatever, and another situation would happen. The same thing would happen in EW. Outside influences gotten in the with my team, right? And I would have to rebuild again in World War II, and dark times, World War II for everyone. Dark times. I literally got,
like, even World War II was a dark time for certain.
I honestly, I was at the lowest point, and like I was like depressed and dark, all that stuff, and I was still getting top 12. Top 12 was a bad placing by my standards, but man, even at my low, like I was still getting top 12. Yeah. And coming from the open bracket, I wasn't in pool play because I wasn't in the league because of Code Blues and all that stuff. But we don't talk about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, dark times. So that was a short summary. But now in Black Ops 4, this is my redemption year, because literally at champs we didn't do well, top 24, whatever. Like I was like, dude, I can't go out like this. Like I was able to go to a different orgs. Like I was like, my parents even told me to leave, but I was like, I can't do it. Like this is something I wanted to end off as E6 of the last year, because I already knew franchising was coming, as I heard the rumors. And I was like, they were like, yeah, you should go, because I was offered by different people, and I could have made teams, but they didn't want the players I wanted to play with.
Yeah.
But yeah, and
your dad also could have gotten a team, if you wanted to.
Yes, yeah. And then the people that said, oh yeah, like they couldn't have bought the team, Activision wouldn't want them. Like, the short story short, we could have gotten one. Yes, but against for me and for my family, I didn't want to be tied to something anymore. Like, it was supposed to be about me, because whenever you own something, like, one thing I would want to say is, like, you can't be the owner, CEO of something and then try to be a competitor, because if you say like, oh yeah, he's playing good or whatever, like, oh no, you're just saying that because like he's the owner, or like my parents would say like, he's like the best on the team because statistically he is, but he's like, oh, you're just saying that because
you own the team. And that's your son.
You own the team. So you can never win.
Yeah,
but going on with that, Black Ops 4 was the year I was putting my all, because you had one chance to qualify for the league, one chance, and the PLQ was everything. If you didn't qualify, it was just over, and I knew that going in, because that's why I fielded the team with the team I chose. So I would get number one out of every single player out of 80 players, because there's the 4 teams that qualify. I was number one on Saturday. Number one statistics as an ICR player, which is a person that's watching over your teammates. I'm not on the front lines, so I'm watching over you, getting the highest amount of damage, and my teammate was number 2. Yeah. So I go in there, and I'm like, I got my name back. Like, this is what I needed to do, and I did it. And like that tournament literally meant everything to me. And because I was getting so much crap, and everyone's saying, you're not going to make the league, like your team's horrible, you're bad, like just quit already, whatever, like, just the standard shit talk. So I would qualify for the league, get a couple top 6s, and then I would get top 4 at champs, as I literally put everything into that tournament. And I would get those 1.2s that everyone plays for, and those V-Line man cards and those player cards everyone talks about. I give it to you. Like, I give you your decent blue placings, I give you your 1.2s, I give you all this, and then at the end, nothing, because as of right now, I'm with a really good group of guys. Like how you said, like, as you wouldn't know, but I wouldn't have been a sub for any other team except for this team, and I told you that. Like, if it wasn't for you and Scump and Formula, as you said, like they wanted me as their subs and the team as well, like, I would have been done. I would have been pursuing my different dreams. Like, I wouldn't be here at all. And so that's, I have to say thank you to you guys. Yeah. But yeah, I literally wouldn't be here. Like, even if I was offered by as a sub for other teams, I wouldn't have took it. Like, I just wouldn't have. So with that being said, like, my mindset with how you said how transitioning, how it'd be like, I don't look at it as like I failed. I don't look at it as all this stuff. Like if I had a really bad year last year and I wasn't doing really well statistically, I would have been like, yeah, dude, like politics, like thank God I got a sub spot. Thank God, like I'm blessed to still be in the league. But no, that's not how it happened. Like I checked off every single thing, and unfortunately I didn't win an event, but I did the best what I could with players because I wasn't blessed enough to say, oh, I played with slashers. I played with freaking the best at their prime, and I always had to pick from, I had to have my own original teams of amateurs. Then I had to pick up other players that weren't known, and then I had to get Decimate, Bevels, and Dashy when they were just on their come up because of politics and outside influences and Infinite Warfare. And then after World War II, all the stuff, middle of the year, I picked up a BZ, and then Sender, and then Diabolic. And then I had to rebuild again because outside influences is trying to destroy my team. So then I had to build a whole new team coming into Black Ops 4, and then try to do the best what I could, get them as structured as they could possibly be, try to lead them in the best direction, and then got top 4. So I literally checked off on all those things, and what did that get me? Literally on the bench. And this world, this scene is all about who you know, not about what you know anymore. And if I would have to say something to like the people that are coming up, like you said in the previous, like yeah, you have to be talented, but you have to build your connections. You have to put yourself out there. Yeah. Learn from me, and you don't take the whole, like, don't try to have the mindset as like always like take the world on head on. I would also say, just make sure that you're prepared to put you're all into it. Cause I literally put my all into it, like 14-hour days. Like I would literally just go in private matches with no bots, no nothing, and just practice like centering spots, wallbang spots, like just by myself, like over and over, like Batman, like practicing like things in his head. And I was going crazy, making sure I was putting everything in the champs. Cause like I said, in World War II, I wasn't going out without a fight, and I did it. I came back. I went up against all odds, and I did it. No one can say that but me. Yeah.
And no amount of help, no amount of nothing.
No amount of money, nothing.
When you're on stage, it's just you and your devices. It's sad in a sense that like you and your family have had to gone through that, but it's the state of shitty ass players in Call of Duty, right? Like these little fucking morons, right? That had opportunities, they just squandered the fuck away. They fucking sit on Twitter all day, goddamn long, talking shit, nothing else to do.
They wake up
and then they play the fucking victim when somebody fucking snaps back. That's what gets me the most. Like in the 90s, they would have not made it a single fucking week without somebody approaching them a certain way, right? And that's what annoys me. Like the accountability has sort of gone away because of Twitter and online. And the only way that you can cope in your head with shit that's being said is the fact that you're like, people like that are always going to end up in a certain place. People like that are always going to end up in a certain place. The amount of people, right, that don't see they don't see the full playing field. They just think that esports is all winning on that side. It's not yet, right? We're still building. So there will come the time where winning is everything, right? Right now is brand building, personality building, trying to get the right org sort of status to be able to get partnerships and sponsorships. And sponsors don't want to deal with fucking morons and stupid and just like bad people. They want to make sure that their advertising dollars are being spent on a good thing. I've for the longest time, right? And I say it to this day. If Nadeshot would have never retired, he would still be playing for it. That's my boy. You know what I mean? If Scump ever declines in skill, he's never not gonna be my player. Or you know what I mean? Like I'm never gonna drop him. Like it is about networking, right? It is about networking. And for example, all right, and we had a conversation about what the Challengers prize pool was gonna be, and I read off the list. I read the list, and I'm like, all right, let's remove the get the meet and greet with the team. Like, and I told the social guys, I'm like, these guys meet them all the time. And then Andy brought up a really, really good point that changed my whole viewpoint on it. He's like, but it's not for them, right? Like, it's for the people who haven't gotten to play against Scump and who got, like, what if one of them has a Cinderella story? Yeah. They get to meet the team, they get to network, and they get to, you know what I mean? Like, that's the sort of, if I see somebody I always keep my eye on everybody. Exactly. If you're a fucking prick in Black Ops 2, I remember it today. Yes. Right? In the dark days of Optic, if you did something wrong to my team, I remember it to this fucking very day. And it'll never go away. No. Right? Like, you can say you changed, you can say you've grown, you can say whatever the fuck you want, but I remember it clearly, and you
don't forget.
I forgive.
But you don't forget.
But I'll never forget. Shout out to my boy. I love Crim Six. That's not a jab at him.
No, not at all.
But it's that sort of thing that did. And I'm like, damn, you're right. I told Andy, I'm like, yeah, leave it in there. You're right. But then the amount of people, and it was the pro players that were like fucking like talking shit about it. It's not for fucking you. No. Right? If it's not for you, and if it doesn't apply to you, shut the fuck up.
Exactly. Like, I got my own opinions. Like, dude, like, you're talking like to the person that, and people were kind of like roasting me, but I had my own side DMs with people, and I actually made them understand, like, for me, that people that are saying like, oh yeah, like they already know it, like who's ever going to be that good, it doesn't need to have the meet and greet. But I completely disagree. You're talking to the person sitting here right here that has done all the stuff, like good placings, beat almost every single player to ever play in Call of Duty as a professional. Yeah. And I'm sitting here still struggling with the connections and the politics and people going behind my back and ruining my opportunities to play with players because they're all jealousy and just pure negativity and going behind the scenes, and there's tens and there's Skype calls and there's Discord calls and trying to make like my life a living hell because I literally put everything into COD. And even if like I have the person has the same achievements or has the same like even though like I was doing this back then and coming up, and I get to even meet you or Scump or whatever, I'm like, I don't even care about the money. Like, let me talk to these guys, let me know them. Like, I might even get a follow, I might even get put in like play with them, I might even like do content with them. Like, you don't know where those things can come, and like that's why I made a tweet, because I was mind blown on how the people would be like, this is just disrespectful.
It's not for them.
That's not for them.
Yeah.
Like, I'm literally mind blown how some of these people were literally roasting. And I was just sitting there like, dude, I must transcended like my whole other side of the spectrum mind. Like, I'm like sitting here as a guru, like, dude, like, don't be dumb. Yeah. Like, come on now. Like, I would love that.
Above anything else, whether it's for you or it isn't for you, like, there's certain way, like, I get it, right? It might not be for some people, but it is for some people. And if it doesn't apply to you, move on. Care about that. Complain about the $10,000. Yeah. We changed it, right? Compare, complain about that. Don't compare about something that's not. If you don't want to meet the team because you already met them, all good, right? Good. If you don't want, to spend a little bit of time with people who may be like, oh, this is fucking good. Oh, he's a good person. Like, this dude's cool. I hung out with him. He had good vision into the future. He talked to the coach, and the coach, whatever. Yeah. Talked to Andy. You know what I'm saying? A person that can literally change your life in the future, whether it's professionally in game or professionally outside of the game. That's the sort of networking that you need to do in this goddamn space. You know what I mean? Yes. And it just bothers me because
it's cringy.
It is, man. Yeah. And I don't. The thing is this: it's like I can sit on Twitter and just jab back and throw low blows all day long, and everybody's gonna like it because Hecz is being savage, awesome, right? Or I'm like, oh shit, like he has no hold. I could literally fucking jab back every single day and make you look stupid, but I choose not to do that because it just doesn't help anybody in that situation, right? No. Because although 10,000 people are gonna retweet what I said and they're gonna be cheering, there's still gonna be 100 people who are gonna be like, maybe you shouldn't do shit like that. And I agree with those 100 people. You know what I mean? I get the entertainment side of it. I get the WWE format that some of this thing goes on. When we landed from London, you took an Uber. When we landed from London, and Seth was about to tweet out. I don't remember what he tweeted out because you didn't come. He was like, "Yo, can I tweet this?" Formal, who's sitting next to me, is like, "Hell yeah, tweet that shit. It's gonna be funny as hell." I'm like, careful, right?
Yeah.
A tweet from you means something completely different because your following isn't just Call of Duty.
He's an icon. He's a gaming icon.
It transcends.
Yes.
You hitting somebody is not the same way as a 100,000 follower person hitting somebody.
No.
You hitting somebody online means a shit ton. So careful with what you tweet. And he said,
okay.
All right. Right?
Yeah.
Because it is different.
Yes.
And in our position, like we sort of have to not defend ourselves because then it seems like bullying at some point, and you never want to do that. Anyway.
But if you don't stick up to the bullies.
Oh yeah. No, trust me. I do. I almost make it a point to, man. It's just I hate that I have to in some scenarios. Anyway. Anything else you want to discuss, man? Something that we forgot to discuss?
I mean, talk about my support system. I mean, because,
shout out to your parents, man, because it wasn't just your support system.
Yeah.
It was everybody. It was you and everybody else. Because again, they didn't have to do all the kind things that you guys did, and only to be
they
torn to pieces in some cases.
Yeah, I mean, very selfless of them. And you definitely got a lot of experiences that you couldn't learn anywhere else. Yeah. So, I mean, like when it comes down to that kind of stuff, like I could go on for hours, but I don't know. I just think that
you think your dad will come on the podcast? Maybe
sure.
I'll ask him.
Yeah.
You think he would?
I think he would.
I think if you guys want a follow-up, obviously, interview with General's dad, I personally think it'd be a good idea to sort of see it from a businessman's perspective, though we said from Andy, but from his perspective, it's something completely different because it's like your family that you're trying to help, and by extension, helping out an entire community of sorts. Yeah. It's one of those things where you're damned if you do and damned if you don't, right? Like and it brings me back to the challengers thing. We were going to be damned if we did or damned if we didn't. So we just said, let's try to do the meetup for the people who want it. And everybody else who's already met the guys is not going to give a fuck. They will understand that it's not for fucking them. No. And I get that maybe that paired with the fact that it was only $10,000, like it did something. But, it was a flip of a switch for us to make it what it was. I think that the Challengers division has like a lot going for them, but at the same time, there's a couple of obstacles that we have that we as owners and league have to sort of get through before we're able to truly provide for them what we could provide for the right things to provide for them. Anyway, I don't have anything else, man. I do appreciate you coming on. I know it's super early for you.
Yeah,
a little bit. Anyway, thanks, man. I appreciate you. We have it here, man. All right, now you're clammy.
And now we do.
You're clammy. No, I'm kidding. All right, bro. Thank you. I appreciate it. DoorDash, thanks so much for sponsoring the podcast, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.